And we're live. We're doing it live. Doing it live and well. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whenever you're watching, however you're watching. Thank you for watching. I love you. I really do. I really do appreciate all the views and everything that the channel and all the videos with all the likes and all that have been getting. It's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this ROSHI'S recap and Roshi After Dark. If y'all want to see more me and sometimes my wife talk about more, I guess, quote unquote, like controversial topics, even though we're not like super controversial people. We're like non-controversial people talking about controversial topics. I guess that's the way that you could like describe it. I don't know. But today we got episode 2 of ROSHI'S recap, and we got 3 pretty interesting stories that I want to get to. One of them touches pretty close to home for me, actually, because it has to deal with Houston. They're in a like a boil water like notice today, like in businesses inside Houston and Houston ISD, the school district. They've closed down like today. Like no one's going to work, no one's going to school. It's crazy. All this this happened yesterday morning, like 10:30 local Houston time. They lost power to their water plant, and it dropped pressure in one of their systems. It fell below what would be the recommended pressure for safe water. And it is kind of weird because they really didn't notify the people until they didn't notify them until like 6:30 at night, something like that. I have an article that I'm going to pull up from KPRC. They're a local Houston news source, so I trust what they have to say. They're usually pretty good with the news and everything like that, and getting you the hard hitting facts. Because I was watching a video earlier this morning after my kids went to school about one of the reporters interviewed the mayor of Houston, or not the mayor. Was it the mayor? I believe it might have been the mayor of Houston, and they were saying that the reason that it took so long for them to notify Houstonians and let people know that they need to start boiling water, because that's 6 hours. There's, I believe, from this water outage and everything, I believe they said like 2.5 million people are affected by this. So you're going 6.5 hours not telling 2.5 million people to not drink the water. Like, don't drink the water. It's fucking poison. And you're going like 6.5 hours not doing that. I'm pretty sure like 1 or 2 people, maybe one, could be 2. They might have had a glass of water, during that like 6.5 hour time. I might be overstepping that like guess, but yeah, like 1 or 2 people in 2.5 million probably had a glass of water in that 6.5 hour time span. And I just smell, I can smell like class action lawsuits just like coming in. They're just going to be pouring in. Like, oh man, you didn't tell me I couldn't have no water. So that's going to be fun for Houston to deal with over the holidays. But in the video, they talk about with the mayor. It was the mayor or the city city official. I'm not 1,000% sure. Don't make me lie to you. Just know it was one of those like higher up Houstonians that make decisions in this shit. So, they said that they had like channels to go through and everything, and certain people to like contact and all that other shit. And there's, you know, there's always all that like bureaucratic bullshit as to why it takes them so long to do fucking anything. They're like, oh, I can't move that fucking piece of paper on my desk because like Charlie from like this other place hasn't moved that piece of paper on his desk. And then Fred from this place hasn't moved his piece of paper, and Tina hasn't signed this piece of paper. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, just get it done, dude. There's like real people here. Like, real people are going to be drinking this water, and it's going to be fucking nasty, dude. Like, I don't know. It's like just some of the shit that like our fucking like officials do and everything like that. It's just weird, you know? Like, I don't get it. And, yeah, I mean, I do, you know, because they have to cover their own ass, make sure they're not going to get fired. Like, screw the little guy and screw the guy that, you know, makes it to where I can hold my position of power. I need to, like, fuck them over at, like, every opportunity so that, you know, I can keep my position of power and keep doing stupid ass shit. And it really just like pisses me the hell off. It really just does. So we'll get into this article. This first one from KPRC. I believe that's who we got it from. Click to Houston. Yeah, KPRC. Clicktohouston.com. That's where we will be funneling this information for y'all from. You like the new dealio that we have for everybody to look at. I'm going to be using this for the Roshi After Dark screens and all that, and I'll more than likely be using it for the recap. I probably could just use like my gaming screen that I use to record all my gameplay and all that. But I like this one. It's a little more aesthetically pleasing. You don't have just like this giant article to look at. You know, I hope that y'all like it. And we'll probably be officially renaming the Roshi After Dark to the Samaroshi podcast, just because it will I like doing this show Monday mornings for like a recap of what's happened over the past week, and especially over the weekend if anything like breaks like this does. And just keep doing this, and then probably just, you know, just label the podcast as an After Dark kind of podcast. Like we talk about, non-controversial people talking about controversial topics that might, you know, especially in today's day and age, trigger a lot of people. And yeah, I got enough headaches to deal with in life, so I just don't even want to deal with that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I hope though that some of you will come on in the evening or at night and join us in the podcast and all that, because we do talk about some fun things, and it's a lot of fun whenever I can sit there and bounce off other people too. You know, you don't have to sit there and look at like my jabroni ass all the time. But all right, we got this first article right here. Boil water notice issued for the entire city of Houston. The entire city of Houston. Bel Air, after water pressure dropped due to the power outage. Oh, 2.2. I said 2.5. My bad. See, look at that. I'm already lying to y'all on Monday morning. My bad. So it was 2.2, not 2.5 million people impacted by this. There is a map of the greater Houston area. Would I have been affected by this? Because I lived in, that is actually where I met my wife and where both of my children were born. We're in the Houston area. They weren't born in Houston. We lived on the east side in what is known as Baytown, and oh yeah, right here, Crosby and Baytown. Like we lived around like this area, like right here. So no, we wouldn't have been affected by that. But that does suck because like my wife, she did work like right downtown for the district attorney in the city of Houston. It was crazy, you know. That's crazy. So many people are affected by this. Look at that. That is huge. Just for context, for people that aren't from the Houston area to know just how big of a span that is. I mean, gosh, you're all the way with like Hobby and bush affected by this. Wow. Just so people know, this area right here, Deer Park. If you were to drive from Deer Park over to here by Sugarland, if you were to drive that, no traffic, nonstop, that would still take you about 45 minutes. A good 45 minutes to do that. No traffic, nonstop. Usual Houstonian traffic and commerce, this drive will take you almost 3 hours. That's what's crazy. But that's also just crazy. Like this huge, like all of Houston, man, like that is nuts. Like power went out, pressure dropped in the water a little bit down because it didn't because from what I understand and what I was watching in that video earlier, the water pressure didn't drop below, or it didn't drop all the way to zero. It just dropped a little bit below what they consider safe for it to contain the water and that pressure for you to drink and everything. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I know exactly how a fucking water treatment plant works and how they, you know, do everything there. But that's crazy that it dropped down a little bit like that, and it took so long to respond. So the entire city of Houston was placed under a boil water notice, city officials announced Sunday. According to Houston Public Works, the notice was issued after the pressure from the city's main water system dropped below the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality's required minimum of 20 psi during a power outage at the East Water Purification Plant on November 27th at 10:30 a.m. Again, this happened at 10:30 a.m. Reported on. So like honestly, they probably noticed it. And were like doing stuff about it at around like 9:30. And then it got publicly documented probably at like for 10:30. Late Sunday, the mayor's office tweeted that the order may not be lifted until Monday night or Tuesday morning. Houston mayor's office. This is from the official Houston mayor's Twitter account. We believe the water is safe, but based on regulatory requirements, when pressure drops below 20 psr, we are obligated to issue a boil water notice. The city is submitting its plan to the TCEQ for approval tonight. Water samples will subsequently follow and Water samples will subsequently follow, and hopefully we will get the all clear from the TCEQ. The city has to wait 24 hours from that point before the boil water notice is suspended. The earliest would be tomorrow night or very early Tuesday morning. So is that like as far as like they got the all clear to like operate as normally? After they get like the all clear, like you're good to go? Or do they, after they get the okay from the TCEQ, do they have to continually wait another 24 hours just to make sure? I don't know. On Monday, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality approved the Houston Public Works water sampling plan. Okay, so it was approved this morning. Officials said workers will begin collecting samples Monday morning and will do 2 complete sets to send to the lab for processing. Okay. So the city of Houston's official Twitter, the TCEQ has approved the Houston Public Works water sampling plan. Workers will begin collecting. We just read this shit. What the fuck? Okay. So these are 4 steps that you should know especially if you are tuning in and you're in the greater Houston area. And I really do feel bad for y'all because that sucks that you have to sit there and boil water for everything. You know, don't shower. Just don't shower. I know like that you could technically take a shower in it. Just don't get it in your mouth and everything. It's just better not to. Your skin is an organism, you know. It's got its own deal going on, microbiome, everything. It does its own thing. It will absorb some shit and you will more than likely still get sick. So I wouldn't even recommend bathing or showering in this shit until 24 hours after they give you the go ahead as well. But boil water notice. Step 1, boiling all water used for food preparation, drinking, bathing, or brushing teeth. Dude, I wouldn't even bathe in that shit. You know? Like, do your best to boil it. Like, now, I am not a huge advocate for, like, processed foods and shit like that. But if you are one of those, if you are like an air fryer or oven parent, then, like, yeah, today is your day to shine. Because I would recommend eating a lot of that pre-made stuff. Wouldn't go out to eat for shit. In Houston, you can't go out to eat, but even the surrounding areas, I wouldn't go out to eat right now. Allow the water to boil for 3 minutes before consuming. I do double that. I do like 6 minutes. Let that shit boil. Yes, and do not use chilled water lines on your refrigerator. So don't use the water out of your refrigerator because that is connected to the water lines that give you the same water that comes out of your tap, goes into your toilet, everything like that. And of course, don't use ice from your automatic ice machine because that gets the water from your chilled water lines in your refrigerator. They get the water from the lines in the sewer system. So, that sucks, you know? Like that y'all have to deal with that in Houston right now. City of Bel Air tweeted, out of an abundance of caution, the city of Bel Air has issued a boil water notice as well. Do not drink or use the water without boiling for at least 2 minutes. Let it cool. See, this right here says let it boil for 3 minutes, and now they're saying 2 minutes. Y'all just cover your own ass and do it for like five or 6 minutes. Just cover your ass and do that if you have to just use water. I would recommend not. I would recommend you got to brush your teeth, cook, anything like that. I know it's times are tough. Shelves are already scarce. But if you can, you use bottled water. Use up your bottled water. Do that. And boil it for at least 6 minutes, man. Just cover your ass because they do not care about us. And they're doing shit to cover themselves, cover their own ass, everything like that. So just make sure you're doing the same and doing your due diligence as a human being. Additionally, Houston Independent School District has canceled all operations for Monday due to this issue. Oh, that's awesome. Those kids got an extra day for Thanksgiving break. That's pretty dope, you know? I don't think any of them are complaining about that, but that just really, really, really sucks, dude, that y'all got to deal with that right now. Cause it's always something in Houston, dude. Something's always going on in Houston, you know, whether it be the nonstop endless construction that is just simply here just to piss you off and make your day even longer and harder, and your commute even longer and harder, or it's random violence, or it's bullshit like this. Like the infrastructure needs to get worked on a little bit in that city. But isn't that the case for most of America nowadays? Most of America needs a little bit of restructuring anyway. But yeah, it's just crazy. You know, if you're in the greater Houston area, or if you're in Houston at all, my thoughts and my prayers go out to you. I'll definitely say an extra one for all of y'all tonight. That's really awful, especially, and I'm really gonna pray for you new mothers. That's just, I know that like me as like a new father, one of the things that I was like super obsessed about was I would let my kids get dirty, but like I would let them go outside and play. I'd let them get in the mud. I would let them get their hands in the mud, put their hands in their mouth, stuff like that. They gotta build up their immune system. But yeah, like once you got in the house, man, that's my house. I don't want you getting mud like all over it and shit. So like after we get, especially in Houston, you can go outside and play damn near all year because you know it's fucking hot. But you know, I would always try to make sure that whenever my kids were in the house, especially if I was bringing them in to lay down, take a nap, or if they were gonna play, cool off on the couches and stuff, little kids, little babies, stuff like that. I always like to make sure that they were clean. You know, they were nice and clean after being out there in the dirty world. And I know that some mothers go through with that a lot, and that's super stressful. And I'm praying for y'all, man, because it is. You just don't want extra bullshit from life like this piled on top of what you got to be going through as a new mother. So my prayers go out to y'all especially. And the old and disabled. That sucks. I really feel for y'all. So if everybody could keep Houston in their thoughts and prayers tonight, hopefully they have the strength and the determination to get through today. I know that it's kind of stressful. And the kids probably love being at home, but the parents being home from work probably love the day off as well. But then it's all going to be kind of stressful because you ain't got no fucking water that you can use. At least it's not shut off and you still flush toilets and everything. Like, you ain't got to deal with, like, you know, like not being able to use the restroom. Like, that would suck. That would make it like super shitty. Pun unintended. But moving on to the next deal. Elon Musk, man. He is like the poster boy for news and headlines and everything right now. He's just all over it. They're watching him with like a fine-tooth comb and everything like that, being like, what's he talking about? What's he doing? I'm sure there are like certain people in certain positions of power that wake up every day and like, what's Elon doing today? I'm gonna see what Elon's doing. Like, get a fucking life, bro. So anyway, he I think it's kind of funny, you know, he's doing all this stuff with Twitter and everything, because I honestly I think Twitter is kind of like a joke of a platform. It's if it's even possible, to me, I look at Twitter as like a less toxic Reddit, but it's still like super toxic. Reddit's just that's where trolls are from. That's where trolls are born, is on Reddit. That's where they come from. Everybody's like, where the fuck do all these trolls come from? Reddit. They come from Reddit. But anyway, Twitter's like I guess you could say like the PG-13 version of it. Cause like on Reddit, you can like literally tell someone to go like end their life and like nothing will happen to you. But in like Twitter, you can be like, I don't like blue hair. You're fucking banned. But I just don't like blue hair, dude. I said nothing about who's wearing it or what's wearing it. I just don't like the shade of blue on hair. Fuck you, you're banned. All right, dude. Appreciate it. You know, like Twitter's kind of a joke. The dude what was his name? What was his name? Jack Dorsey? Was it Jack? Yeah, Jack Dorsey. Dude, he's kind of a trip, you know? He seems like he's like gonna be a shaman. He's gonna be like a full-fledged shaman in like 10 years. Come out of this fucking mountain with his like 10-foot long beard, being like, I have the answers to everything. You know, because he already talks like that. Yeah. He's kind of weird, but like whatever. I mean, I guess we're all kind of quirky. But all this Elon buying like Twitter and all this shit, yeah, it's funny. And I get why he's coming up with like all like these different ideas and stuff like that to for Twitter, like how he like people were like really, really, really tripping on him doing the what you had to pay like the $8 to do the check mark thing, and like a lot of people were like speaking out on that, and he like I believe it stopped, like they put a pause on that. They were like, oh, let's put a pin in that and get back to that. But I mean, I get it. He did spend like billions of dollars to get the ownership of this company, you know, get all the IPs and everything like that. So Elon is a businessman, dude. He's a businessman. So, I mean, you don't become the richest man on the world by being an idiot in business, you know? Which I'd like to do a full podcast about Elon Musk. I might have that coming up soon. My like full thoughts on him and everything like that. But anyway, you don't become a gajillionaire worth like bajillion million dollars. Like the dude is so rich he can buy money. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy money. I'm gonna buy your money. Give me your money. I'm gonna buy it. You know, like he literally was like, I'm buying the internet. I'm buying the internet. I make internet with Starlink, and now I'm going to buy internet voice with Twitter. He's like, he's gonna become the internet's version of like Disney. He's just gonna monopolize everything. He's like, because what I'm getting into is he's wanting to compete with YouTube, and I get it. Like YouTube is a huge cash cow. You just make money on YouTube. It's just money just funnels in from advertising and ads and brand deals, things like that. It's a really easy way to get your products around, and a lot of money is passed around, and they make quite a bit of money, you know, and they give out quite a good amount of paying with like their ads and stuff, like ads and deals like that. I believe YouTube usually pays like 45%, and then you get so much per 1,000 views they'll give you, and you can make upwards of like $20 per 1,000 views. So you got to think, if you make if you have like a 1 million viewed video and you're getting paid, let's just say you're getting paid $10 for every 1,000 views. YouTube pays you that if you have a video that goes kind of viral and it hits like 1 million, you know, you're gonna YouTube, just off of the views, they're gonna pay you 10 grand just off of the views, as long as you're monetized and everything like that. Of course, there's stipulations and bureaucratic bullshit before you get your money. Stupid. You got to finish making them all their money, and then they'll give you a little bit of the breadcrumbs. You gotta bake them a whole pie, and they're gonna give you a little piece of crust. That's fair. That is stern and fair. But I get why Elon's doing it. He's a businessman. He's got to make his money back. This was like, dude, he bought Twitter for so much fucking money. Like literally, honestly, he could have, with the amount that he spent on Twitter, he could have ended the West Coast homeless problem. Maybe not America's homeless problem, but definitely like all the way, border to border. Canada to Mexico, California, Washington, Oregon, all the homeless people there, for what he bought Twitter for, he could have ended it right there, right then and there. Done. But that's neither here nor there. We'll save that for a podcast. That's a little more risque. That's a little more risque to talk about. You know, the YouTube moderators might be like, "Hey, what are you doing with all that free speech and thinking? What are you doing? Stop it. You better stop it." But he's got to make his money back. So YouTube is a huge cash cow. It makes a fuckload of money from ads, everything like that. So yeah, take on the big one. I mean, he is top dog, so let's take on the other top dogs. Oh, and I'm sorry I'm drinking so much water. It's that time of year up here in the north, in the mitten, in Michigan. The time of year where it's like we still have like kind of warm days that are like in the 50s every now and then. And then we got days where it's like in the 30s and snowy and rainy. And like the 50s days, it's sunny and it's nice and everything. So like my voice just always gets a little hoarse this time of year. But we'll get into this about Elon and everything. So here he is. Yeah, okay, bud. Giving us a big old thumbs up. Okay, bud. So on this, and this article was published the 12th, so about 16 days ago. It says right here, Elon Musk claims he'll pay Twitter video creators 10% more than YouTube. Okay, bud. Okay, bud. With what money? You're like gajillions of dollars in the hole with this purchase, dude. Better go sell that sweet ass jacket. Put a dent in your shit. You know? So let's get into the article. Elon Musk has roughly 10 zillion. Did you hear that? Like 10 zillion ideas about how to generate revenue from Twitter. The most public of which, of course, has been his new $8 Twitter Blue auto verification system that wreaked so much havoc in its first few days. It has been, quote unquote, paused already. So he like threw that out there and everybody freaked out. He's like, oh, nope, reel it back in. Nope. But there is one idea that actually could make sense, depending on how much you trust Musk. And the idea that Twitter will even be left standing when all this is done. Not Twitter. No, it can't die. Or, it can just do the natural selection of business and one day, die. The concept is that Twitter has never really generated anything approaching a creator economy, which it really hasn't. I haven't really heard of anybody like bragging about Twitter, and like what they're getting paid out in Twitter and everything like that. You always hear like, apparently it's like Instagram is like the shit. Like people always push their Instagram. Instagram must pay like really, really well, like YouTube does. I don't really know. I don't have like huge boobies or a nice butt to look at, so it's kind of hard to break through the Instagram algorithm. But whatever. But yeah, you never hear of anybody being like, yeah, go check out my Twitter, dog. You never hear that shit. It's always like, peep my Instagram. Follow my Instagram. Do the stories. So let's get back into it. It does not pay its power users like YouTube and Twitch. Well, I mean, but okay, like Twitch though, like I can understand YouTube a little bit because YouTube has allowed you to start like posting, like doing like regular like written posts and posting pictures, shit like that. And then they have the shorts. So I can see where Twitter could compete with them on that. But Twitch, that's a live streaming service. That's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. That's a big stretch if they're trying to do and compete like on that level. Because if that's the case, it sounds more like he's not really trying to like work a system into what's there. It's almost like he's trying to redo Twitter, like make it more like YouTube and maybe more video related. Maybe. I mean, more people are making videos than they are making written posts anymore. So maybe that is the direction that he's like trying to go towards. I don't know, because you also have to realize like people that weren't around for like Twitter in the conception, because I've been alive before there was a Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. And when Twitter came about, it was more along the lines of like a light version of Facebook. Like Facebook was all about posting what you were doing, maybe sharing a picture. It was very rare if you ever saw like a regular person, like one of your friends or a coworker or something like that. It was very rare if you saw them post a video, and if they did, it was like super grainy and it wasn't even worth watching. Excuse me. But it was advertised as more of like a light Facebook, to where you didn't need to go in and create like this big post and write like this big paragraph and do all this and do all that. It was just like quick sentence, you know, just boom, whatever pops in your mind, just tweet, like little thought, tweet it out, you know. So now it sounds like he's trying to like maybe restructure the whole motherfucker to be like YouTube, and to be maybe even compete as like a streaming platform. Because I do know that some gamers stream like all over, you know, on all types of different platforms. And then even one of the biggest streamers, Ninja, if you don't know who he is, he does Fortnite and all that stuff, battle royales. But I believe that he streams on his Twitter, but he does stream on his YouTube, his Twitch, his Facebook, his Instagram, his TikTok. And I believe his Twitter. He streams on all of them at the same time. So maybe Elon is seeing the advantages of live streaming, and maybe he's trying to restructure Twitter to be more like YouTube and Twitch. That'd be kind of cool. It's to give it a new facelift and everything. It's under new management, new facelift. Many of whom have made content creation on those platforms a full-time living. And even if Musk's pay $8 for verification thing is the opposite of that, charging creators, he does seem to want to embrace the notion of paying people to post their content on the platform. One of his earliest questions he posed to the public after he took over was how much YouTube paid its creators, which is 45% revenue share. He said he could beat that, and that idea has not dissipated through the ensuing chaos. In a recent call, it was brought up again, this time with more specifics. Let's just get a bunch of content creators that we think are cool on YouTube and say, hey, would you consider putting your content on Twitter, and we'll pay you 10% more than YouTube and see how it goes, Musk said. That's pretty bold. But he's really smart, you know, especially with numbers. So he's a billionaire, he has a whole team. I'm sure either him personally or someone close to him on his team has heavily crunched those numbers. And that isn't like an ass poll like number, like percentage, like, oh yeah, 10% more. No, like that is very calculated, and he definitely knows what he's doing. One immediate caveat here is that this idea may be proposed as an exclusive contract. As in, if you agree to, say, a 55% revenue cut from Twitter, you can no longer upload that content to YouTube. Okay, because see, like that might be he might have to redo that, because right now I don't believe there might be certain like brand deals and stuff like that may be YouTube exclusive for like bigger content creators. I have no idea because I'm just a jabroni channel. But YouTube, as far as I know, they don't have any stipulations in that with people that are verified with them to where they can't post their content on other platforms, even like clips and stuff like that. I wonder if that would include that. Like if you were to post like a whole video on Twitter, you know, like let's say that you had like either like a live stream of some gameplay, or you had a live stream of like a podcast, we'll say. And then in that gameplay, you had like a really cool clip, or in the podcast, you had a really funny moment or intriguing or interesting moment. and or a really insightful question was brought up, and you just want to like clip that portion. I wonder if you would be able to put that on like YouTube Shorts, especially if that's going to be like your main competitor. I doubt he would let you do that. And if that is the case, I don't see a lot of people going to that, because that's not really free speech, bro. You keep like Elon keeps talking about like free speech, but he's like still doing it wrong. It's like, no, man, you can't. What? Yeah, like you should like competitively compete for wages, but it should still be an open market. Like, it's like you lure people in with like the competitive wage, but then you like trap them. And you're like, yeah, you can't go anywhere if you say yes. Well, then I'm fucking leaving, dude. Bye. That's how I'd be. You know, the money ain't that important to me. You know, especially 10%. Nah, I'm good. That would be an enormous risk for creators who already have established YouTube audiences. And we have no idea what kind of revenue Twitter ads would bring in compared to YouTube ads, especially given that advertisers have begun to flee during Musk's reign. Yeah, they really have. If the contracts are exclusive, that would be a tough call for creators to make given all the uncertainty. Yeah, it really would, man. It's like, that's a little, excuse me. That's a little, crazy if you ask me. Only being able to post your shit on Twitter, like that's it. I get it, like you're trying to compete with YouTube and everything, but just Twitter? Like, come on, man. The ad revenue can't be that good for Twitter. Like I said, like Instagram has to be, the ad revenue for Instagram has to be better than Twitter, because you don't see people nearly hyping up their Twitter like they do their Instagram. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Elon's making some moves, dude. He's making some straight up moves. And it's just, it's nuts. It's nuts to think about how much everything's just like changing, and how everything is, it all was the same and ran like a certain way for like so long, and now this like huge monkey wrench is in it all. And that's just like nuts. That's nuts to me. Pretty nuts. Speaking of nuts and nutty, we'll go ahead and get into our last deal for today. Jake Paul and Top G, Andrew Tate, Top G, man. Oh man, he cracks me up. He has to be like this whole persona that he's doing. It's got to be like a gag. It's got to be a meme. It has to be. This has to be like the biggest inside joke between like him and his brother, and we're just, or like him and his family, close friends, whatever, and we're just not in on it. But I don't know, if it's not, then holy shit, dude, you are an animated caricature. You are crazy motherfucker. But anyway, maybe he got kicked in the head too much as a kickboxer. But anyway, Jake Paul, I believe, called out Andrew Tate, which I don't doubt, because Andrew Tate is retired, and in the fighting aspect of the world, he's over 30, so he's old. And that's kind of Jake Paul's like MO. Old, retired men that I can beat on. And if you're a Jake Paul fanboy, I'm sorry. I don't particularly enjoy Jake Paul. His brother seems all right. His brother's Logan, especially after that whole the whole forest deal, the suicide forest and everything. Seems like he's really like turned it around, rebranded, reimaged himself. That apology though was dog shit that he did on camera. That was like, come on, bro. You can do better than that. You can hire someone better than that to write you something better than whatever the fuck you did. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, out of the quote unquote like Paul brothers, I enjoy Logan more than Jake. Jake kind of seems like the typical little brother, you know, fucking entitled, don't really do shit, and he honestly, in my opinion, he kind of seems like a bully, you know. Especially if you hear some of the stories from God, what was his shit called back in the day? Like Team something, I forget. But some of the people that used to be a part of that talk about how he was and how he is and how he was towards women and how he was towards them. Like, yeah, Jake Paul he seems like a big ass fucking bully, you know? And as a fight, like I really do appreciate fighting. Um I'm not going to I'm not gonna. By no means, I wouldn't call myself a fighter. I wouldn't call myself anything like that. But I do know. I have been trained in styles, in techniques, and styles. And I used to have a job where I had to use those techniques and styles for offense and defense. Um, just to make sure I'd make it home every day. But by no means do I call myself a fighter, because that is like fighters today are like the last of like the warriors, you know, in my opinion. The last like gladiators, the last Spartans, the last berserkers, you know. They're true fighters are, you know, they're getting more few and far between, and they're becoming a dying breed, really. The only thing really I honestly think in the fighting community that's keeping it alive is the UFC. It's just done wonders for all of it. Boxing is it just kind of became so boring, you know. But I still like watching boxing over UFC. I like watching striking. I'm not a huge fan of judo, wrestling. It's cool, you know, some of the like especially some of like the takedowns and stuff, it's really cool. Get some good slams and stuff. But I like striking, I like punches, kicks, spins, all that stuff. It's something more, I guess you could say, pleasing or aesthetic to watch. But to me, like, you know, like a fight, like I respect fighters just so much, because these fighters, you know, they put so much on the line. They dedicate so much time away from, you know, like loved ones, as far as like girlfriends, boyfriends, family, kids if they have them. It's a huge sacrifice and a huge commitment. And a lot of them have to do it while working. You know, a lot of them can't get sponsors or find someone to sponsor them while they are trying to make something of a fighting career. So a lot of them have to work, and especially in today's day and age, you have to work at least a full-time job. You can't make it off part-time anymore. So a lot of them work full-time, and then they dedicate the rest of their time to their sport. And I really admire that. And it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to eat a certain way, to have certain habits as far as like rest. Like, oh no, oh, y'all want to go watch a movie? Yeah, what time does it start? 8 o'clock. How long is it? Yeah, I can't go watch it. I got to be in bed 9:30 every night. Like, I can't go. No. Oh, come on, man. Nope, I can't. And then it's like, oh, you want to go out drinking with us? Nope, I got that fight coming up. I can't do it. You know. And it's, or hey, do you want to go get a pizza? No, I got that fight coming up. I'll eat my chicken and rice. You know, like to just be that dedicated and show and have like that follow through, have a goal, get to it, accomplish it, do your shit. Like, I respect fighters so much because of that, because they put so much on the line. And most fighters that walk into a ring, you can ask most fighters, whenever they walk into a ring, they're like, I don't fully expect to die, but there is a good chance that I could die in this ring, and I'm okay with that. It's fine with me getting deleted and lights out on this mat right here. I'm cool with that because I know I gave it my best. And there's a lot with that, carrying that a lot more than people realize, you know, like carrying that kind of weight with you, and then to really stand up and face that. It's a lot. And I have, you know, ton of respect for all fighters, any discipline, whether you study, you know, American styles, or you study kickboxing, or you study like Jeet Kune Do, things like that, whatever, wrestling, whatever. You're a fighter, you have your sport that you're disciplined in. You got my hat's off to you. You got my respect. That shit's fucking hard. And that's why I don't really have a whole, I just don't take Jake Paul seriously. Like this, because also too, I'm a 90s kid. So like, this is kind of like the fact that like people are actually like legitimately like taking this seriously, because I say that I'm a 90s kid, because especially in the 80s and the 90s, there was like celebrity boxing matches were like really fucking big. Like a lot of like celebrities like boxed each other, but that's all it ever was. It was just two celebrities just like fighting. Like I'm sure like they took it seriously, and they trained, they ate right, they did this, they did what they had to do. But at the end of the day, it was like, no, dude, you're a like actor. You're not a fighter. Like you don't do this shit for real. Like you're just doing another role. You know, you're bored. And we're just gonna watch two people punch themselves in the face over and over again. So like the fact that like people take this like Jake Paul like fighting shit like so seriously, I would take it more seriously if he was fighting like real fighters, like up and comers. You know, like Jake, you're no world championship. Like you made a fake belt that you carry around proudly. Like it's not sanctioned or recognized by any division. It's like you made that shit up. In fact, it looks like one that you buy at fucking Walmart. You know, you probably got it from there off Amazon or some dumb shit. But that's I just like if he was coming up in the ranks, fighting up and comers, fighting guys that were his age, his size, people that are hungry, putting himself on the line, really dedicating. Yeah, then I'd be like, yeah, Jake Paul's a fighter. Yeah, he's a fighter. He's doing it. But nah, man, you're playing pretend. You're writing fake amounts of money with crayon on like fucking big fake checks. You're buying like WWE belts from fucking Walmart and saying that they're your boxing belts, like, and you're fucking carrying them around and hanging them on your wall. Like that's just, it's funny. Like it's got to be a joke. It has to be a joke. It has to be. Like you can't like take this. You can't like be like 1,000% serious with this shit. I refuse to believe that you were that like egotistical. Hey, you might be that big of a narcissist. You know, I have seen some psychological videos on Jake Paul. I've seen actually a really good one from a doctor out. I believe she's in Oregon. She gave a really good psychological breakdown of Jake Paul, and it was done really well. I'll try and get the link and post it in the comments for everybody. It was done really well, and I really enjoyed it. But this might, if this is real, if Jake Paul is gonna fight Andrew Tate, and this is like legitimate, this might be one to watch, because and I ain't gonna lie, like Top J, he cracks me up, man. He's got to be a comedian. He has to be like a comedian working on a bit. But like he's the real deal. He's a real like champion kickboxer. Like I mean, in kickboxing, you still learn how to strike. You still learn how to punch. It's not just all kicks. So like he really does. He has those hands and those feet. Like he could get down with the Brizown. Sorry, I had to crack my back. But so this might be one that like Jake Paul might get a run for his money. Because Andrew he still looks like he's in great shape. Especially from this article that I'm about to pull up. It's like, Jesus, dude, you sipping on that Capri Sun? What you doing? But he looks great. Of course, he's older than Jake because that's his MO. He beat up old retired dudes, you know. Crazy. That's why I can't take him seriously. I just can't take him seriously. But this one might be like one to watch out for. Dude, if Jake Paul knocked this dude out, that would be crazy. I don't think he would be able to call himself top G anymore. You know. And also, dude, I'm not just like completely bashing like Jake Paul or saying that he has no skills or anything like that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like he's got hands. Like he can throw hands. Looks like he can fight. But you know, is it really awesome to like? Would it be awesome to beat up like a defenseless person? Because like you're a young kid, you're in your prime, you're beating up dudes that are retired. You're beating up dudes that are old that don't even box. They're like basketball players and shit. Like, to me, that's like beating up someone like with their hands tied. Like if you're a trained fighter and you're fighting someone that's not a fighter, especially if they're older than you, retired, all that shit, it's like beating up. That's some bully shit right there. You know? He ain't nothing but like a big ass bully. He's a little bitch. But anyway. I think it'd be funny to watch those two, the Top J and Paulie, fucking duke it out. So, essentially, sports is where we are pulling this article from. So, is Jake Paul fighting Andrew Tate on December 17th? This article was written the 25th, so 3 days ago. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like Tate, he still looks kind of yoked, bro. Like you sipping on those Capri Suns, my top J, my top brethren J. Dope tattoos, though. I like his tattoos. I like that like wrap around. That's like super dope. I wonder who did it, how long it took. I don't know. I like it a lot. It's really dope. But all right, let's get into this. Following his sensational win over Anderson Silva on October 29th, Jake Paul appeared at Crown Jewel WWE. Oh no, guys. Is he trying to take over Logan's wrestling career as well? This kid just don't stop. After his win over the former mixed martial artist, Jake Paul stands with a record of 0 losses and 6 wins. Out of his 6 victories in boxing, 4 arrive by the wham knockout in the ring. He fucking knocked out old retired people, dude. Like what? Like why are you fucking bragging? I'll beat the shit out of that old dude. Fuck yeah, man. Fucking broke his hip. Like, what the actual fuck? The world is so fucking upside down now, dude. Now that Paul has a win over Silva, yet another fighter who formerly fought, keyword there, formerly fought in the UFC. What is next for the problem child? Like, didn't he give himself that name? Like, he, like, it was like, yeah, I'm the problem child. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Oh, holy shit. And I know, I think both of these brothers want a piece of Tate. I believe Logan has said something or called him out. Some dumb shit. Trying to stay relevant. After his match with Silva ended on October 29th, Paul faced off with Andrew Tate, giving their fans hope of a potential fight. The two, Cobra and the Problem Child, have now been calling each other out for some time. So will they finally fight? If so, when exactly will we see them share the ring? Dude, I can't take this shit seriously. Like, look how fucking serious they are. He's like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass, you little American bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up, you English fucking biscuit. Like, what the fuck? I can't take this shit seriously, dude. I can't. I cannot. It's, oh man. There has been a rumor that is spreading the news that Paul and Tate are likely to fight on December 17th. I fucking doubt that. I doubt that. Like, when did he, the 29th? 29th. I don't think he took any damage, though, really, from the Silva fight. He don't look like it. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather fucked him up more. Man, y'all remember? Like, I like how when all that Floyd Mayweather shit was like going on, I like how like everybody just talked about how like Jake like took the hat and got punched, and then like the black eye like made like the big like news story. But like, dude, if you go back and watch that shit, like his reaction and like the fake like holding back tears and crying like smile that he was giving, like, you dude, and then he like dips off into the fucking dressing room. Dude, you know, as soon as he got in that dressing room, he cried his ass off. Like, it's like, yeah, dude, that's what it feels like to get hit by like a real fighter that's kind of still like with it, you know. It's, I thought that shit was so funny. But he didn't look like, it doesn't look like he really took that much damage from Silva. I didn't watch a fight. Like I said, I don't care. Like this shit to me is nothing more than celebrity boxing, and I don't take that shit seriously. It's just, and I don't, like, these guys aren't even like really like quote unquote like celebrities. Like I would much rather watch like, you know, like Chris Evans versus like Ryan Reynolds in a boxing match. Like that would be fucking dope. Can we make that happen? Can we rally behind that? Like that would be sweet. Captain America versus Deadpool. Let's go, baby. But I guess he could take the fight on the 17th. It's a couple weeks away. Probably could do it. Probably could do it. I mean, he's young enough. He don't really look like he's hurt. He's already conditioned. He'd be ready for the fight, you know. Neither Paul nor Tate has said anything regarding their fight on December 17th. Following the biggest win on October 29th, Jake Paul expressed that if he had the chance, he would like to face Money. Cool. While fans wondered who he would actually fight, Paul spoke about the arrangement of a bout with Tommy Fury. What? Tommy Fury? Okay, bud. Okay, bud. So yeah, he's just wanting to do fake. Yeah, he wants to work with the WWE. He wants to do like Logan's, and he just wants to do controlled fake fights because he knows now he's building too much momentum, and he probably is like, yeah, like people are really, really, really gonna want me to fight like some straight up like people now, and can't punch that pretty face, you know. That's what the camera needs, man. Stupid. But I don't know, man. I just can't. I can't do that shit, man. I can't take it seriously, dude. Because like I said, this is just like some celebrity boxing to me. This, out of all of them, I'm sure the Silva fight was awesome because Silva's a great fighter. I'm sure that was an entertaining fight to watch. But this one seems like it would probably be a little bit more entertaining because I believe Tate's younger than Silva. I believe he is. He should be, if I'm thinking right. So So maybe he'll give, you know, Paul a better run for his money. We'll see. But I don't know. I could really care less if they fought because of the, out of the two, only one of them's a real fighter. And it ain't Jake. So he can keep doing his thing or whatever. Like I said, if he just, you know, started fighting like up and comers and like fighting people that are like going for shit and everything like that, and him go for real titles and shit like that, yeah, dude, you're a fighter. You're a fighter. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think about the whole Jake Paul Tate fight. Would you watch that? Would you even be interested? I probably wouldn't watch it. I would just watch like I just like probably just hit up the internet or something just to hear like the results, and then probably just watch highlights on YouTube like the next day or something. I really don't want to dedicate like the whole time of watching that and everything. Nah, I'm good. But let me know down in the comments what you think about that. Would you watch it? Do you think it's entertaining? Do you think it will be entertaining if they do fight? Do you even hope that they fight? You know, again, do you care? You know, if you're from Houston, again, my prayers and condolences go out to you today. And I hope that you have the strength and the patience to get through whatever you need to today. Bless you all, man. God bless you. And then Elon with Twitter. What do y'all think about him trying to take on YouTube? Do you think he'll be able to take on the giant that is YouTube? Or will he essentially just crash and burn Twitter into the ground and say fuck it and just walk away? You know, that's what I'd do at this point. I'd be like, you know what, fuck it. This is a stupid ass idea. I'm done. Bye. Let this shit just run into the ground. But that's going to do it for everything. I love you guys. I will see you next time. And as always, stay sexy. But make sure you stay sexy like